All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this magazine launch by The Talk. My name is Anmol Garg. I'm the founder of a sales training company called Sales 5X, and I will be your facilitator today. The Talk is a new media and thought leadership platform. Our flagship vertical, The Talk Big Ideas, is a platform for events, magazine, and The Talk TV, which is the YouTube channel for SME and startup entrepreneurs. The Talk Big Idea engages with SMEs and startups on a regular basis to find the challenges of entrepreneurs, and it is committed and focused on creating platforms for small and medium businesses to connect, to engage, and get new insights to scale their business. I'm very excited to be here today because we have a very interesting agenda. First up will be a magazine launch by Dr.A.velumani, followed by a brief Q&A with him, and then we will have a keynote address by none other than Mahesh Murthy. I would like to thank all the people who've joined in today, our presenting partner Morpheus, our lovely audience, and we have some special guests amongst us as well. We have Mr. Prabhu, who's the convener of ITF. We have Mr. Nasser, who's the director of BNI Coimbatore and director of The Talk. We have Karan Bindal, the founder of HAVE, Soma Sundaram, the charter member of TiE Coimbatore, and Mr. Vijayta, who's the charter member of TiE Bangalore. Let's talk about the magazine. It's called The Big Ideas. It's the magazine for SME and startups. It's an exclusive magazine with content-rich stories, interviews that cover the entire gamut of entrepreneurial ecosystem and strategies for growth. Big Ideas will be a great source of knowledge, insights, and business opportunities for startups and for SME entrepreneurs. And who better to launch this magazine than my favorite speaker, Dr.A.velumani. He is the creator and chief executive officer of Thyrocare, a visionary. He's clearly proved to the industry that focus gives success. Born in a small village near Coimbatore to a landless farmer, today he owns and operates Thyrocare, a chain of diagnostic centers and pathology labs that is worth over 2,000 crores. Dr.A.velumani began his career as a mathematician and acquired his PhD in thyroid biochemistry from BARC. As a research scientist and teacher, he's worked for over 14 years in BARC and later ventured into business. A very powerful motivator, he has succeeded in converting educated people into employable, graduates as professionals, individuals as entrepreneurs, vendors as partners, family members as wealth creators, and of course, by his unique way of transforming intimidating problems into opportunities for prosperity. I still remember in the last session offline at Coimbatore, he gave a rousing speech and all of us were so inspired. I still remember the entire speech. So with a huge round of applause, I know I cannot hear your claps, but still clap wherever you are. Please welcome Dr.A.velumani to kindly launch the Big Ideas magazine. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Satish. Thank you, The Talk. Thank you, The Big Ideas, and thank you, BNI, for coordinating for this event. Proud to be from Coimbatore and proud to see many people from Coimbatore. I've been associated with Satish because he is having a neighbor to my land. So a lot of connections, emotions. Having said that, we are in one of the worst, toughest phases of our life. Even guys with as old as I am to guys who are as young as 20. This is the worst ever quarter. No one imagined when December 31st, 2019, we all clapped hands and did a hug and a Happy New Year. We never knew that this year is blank. But this quarter ended yesterday was quite a very big disaster. And today lockdowns are back both in Tamil Nadu with different parts in Maharashtra also. It gives a very worrying Q2. But having said that, we need to have positive ideas, positive hopes, and a positive approach towards life. I believe we have crossed 10% of the journey because we have recently launched a COVID antibody test and we have so far tested around 7,000 people. 10% of the people have met the virus and survived, which says that 10% of the race is crossed. Too long to go. Maybe it will be around for a couple of more years. We have been doing COVID PCR testing also. We have almost done an 80,000 tests, alarmingly around 22% positivity. I am sitting in the headquarters of COVID, that is in Mumbai. So having said that, we only have lost so far 12 deaths per million. The Western cousins have lost around 400 deaths per million. We are not going to end at 12 deaths per million. We will reach to 40 deaths per million minimum. But having even reached up to 40 deaths per million, we will be 1/10 of the Western cousins. So I want all the entrepreneur community to feel happy. India is an young country. Indians have higher immunity because of the youth as well as the living environment. And we will have a better comfort in handling this than many of the Western counterparts. Having said that, many industries are completely collapsed. Some are moderately disrupted, and some have a positive surge also. It's very important to, whenever there is an opportunity comes, whenever, an accident comes or a very disaster comes or a challenge comes, we must look at where are opportunities. And I'm very happy to tell some of the areas which have huge prosperity, 3 of them very vital. The rest is very difficult to understand still because we have not even crossed 10% of the journey. The first one is healthcare. We were supposed to have the glorious Q1, but the lockdown has brought down to 0. So pandemic plus lockdown is a very big disaster. And we believe Q2 will be better. We believe next year will be better. Healthcare will be a lot more doing. Government who is spending around 2 to 3% GDP will have to spend around 10%. They have introduced a very ambitious Ayushman Bharat project, in which the funds will come through the bottom of the pyramid. And currently the healthcare is operated from the top of the pyramid. So it's going to be a very different world. Imagine a 6-7% of the GDP getting into healthcare, how powerful, robust healthcare system will become. Also, common man who has been hardly spending 3 to 5% of his money for family health monitoring or diagnosis or treatment will now spend more on monitoring, around 6-7% or even 10% of his budget will be allotted, because for him having one more bungalow, one more car is not the dream. To have the life living and enjoying what is from the life is going to be the primary goal and objective. So healthcare will very powerfully grow. We realize in sitting inside healthcare, there are 2 segments of healthcare. One is COVID, another is non-COVID. And non-COVID is lifestyle disorder, COVID is infection related. So far in this business, 90% was non-COVID, only 10% was COVID. Going forward in another 12 months period, the COVID is to COVID will be 1:1. To that extent, 100 becomes 200. To that extent, number of hospitals will be more. Recently, my children asked me, Dad, why can't the hotel chains cannot become hospital chains? I only told him by December they all would become, because hotel industry is negatively completely impacted, and the infrastructure can very well be made use of hospital as an industry. Next one is wellness, hygiene and healthcare products. Fitness, wellness, nutrition. These 3 together. Wellness is not sickness. Wellness is sitting at home monitoring. That is a huge business. Fitness, man was eating and sleeping without working, without workouts. So now he will know that workouts give better immunity. So he will have to do that. The next one is what you call as nutrition. Whatever he was eating was wrong. What was good to tongue was bad to body. Now he will modify and do what is good to body, not good to tongue. So nutrition is going to play a big role. So wellness, fitness, nutrition is industry number 2. Industry number 3 is hygiene products. Number of sanitizers making, number of gloves making, mask making, PPE making have become exponentially too much. And there is a likelihood that business will also be a huge export potentials, because the virus is going to be around the world for next minimum 5 years, and it's going to be a very different kind of industry. So this is how I see COVID as a positive impact industries. Negative impact industries are airlines are gone completely. Today some 20% or 10% of airlines are running. 5 flights were there in Bombay to Coimbatore, almost full every day. Today there is no flight from Bombay to Coimbatore for the last literally 100 days. So what does it mean? It means even tier 2 cities will not cover by air. All flights in air all seats full might take 3 to 5 years period, even for domestic. Imagine international, it is completely gone. So that is the industry worst hit. Then hotels, banquet halls, get-togethers, networking, conferences, seminars, gone. The cocktail dinners at early morning, 2 o'clock was all history now. So those industries will have a huge disruption. Any industry with technology incorporated will grow faster. Any industry with brick and mortar model will go down. So a lot of changes, very difficult to list all of them. And I was told by Satish, sir, you talk for some minutes and leave some space. A few questions and answers will be there. So I would be very happy to answer specific questions depending upon number of minutes available.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for your address. We will first have the magazine launch and then dive into the Q&A. So I request Manoj to share the magazine virtually with us while Dr. Velumani announces the launch of the magazine.
Is that I need to do something? Yes.
You just have to say it out.
Yes, I wish that talk, I wish the big ideas a great journey. It is apparently a time when print is challenged. I believe print and digital will together be making a journey. I wish this magazine, which I launched today, to have decades of life and decades of knowledge, education, and promotion of business, as well as promotion of health and wealth. Good luck, Satish.
Which this one?
Thank you, Dr. Velumani, for the launch. So this magazine will be available to each one of you very shortly. It's going to be put up on the website as well. Yeah, if Manoj can quickly take us through some more screenshots of the magazine. Great, it'll be made available to you shortly. We'll have a quick Q&A discussion. We have Vijeta, who's the TIE Director of Bangalore. We have Somasundaram, we have Nasser. Gentlemen, if you have any questions, shoot it out to Dr. Velumani, the best time to get hold of him. Very busy these days. Yeah.
This is Vijeta here from Bangalore. Sir, first of all, a lot of respect for the hard work and efforts that you're putting in. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would be kind of a representation in terms of, for the entrepreneurs from TIE who are doing their very best to also fight this battle out. So I would just like you to give a couple of maybe a little bit of insight on how best they can take opportunities in this current situation, number one. And for the innovators all across our ecosystems, what is a message that you can give that in these times, how can they still pivot and still survive and get some business going in this tough, challenging times, sir? This is just the insight that I would like. Thank you.
As far as business is concerned, nothing much has challenged except the way in which we work, whether we need that much space, whether we need that much people, whether we need that kind of decibel, whether we need that kind of seminars, all are a matter of question. Networking, everything will change. Having said that, good business models will make huge money, and find out how the change the needs of the common man, because he is yet to come out of the jatka or the tappad the COVID has given. So it's going to take little more time for you to assess where am I, where is my current business model, is it today relevant, is it today still scalable because of various changes in the environment. But having said that, all those entrepreneurs who have been frugal, who have been without much of financial burden, have much lesser challenge. And I also want to say, startups have less problem, big guys have more problem. The guys who have 2,000 crore turnover suddenly sees himself in not even 20 crores turnover. His distributors are dead, his vendors have changed, his everything has changed. I must tell you, the big guys have more problems, small guys have less problems. Startups can restart very easily. The big guys cannot restart. They have to rebuild it what they made for decades. So be confident, you are on the forefront. Guys, you are all in digital startups. I believe, unfortunately, all startups are only called as a startup only when you have an IT background, IT platform. That's good. All startups are least disturbed. All digital are going to have much bigger prosperity. Find out how entire community will consume your products, and if your products are not truly going to make you taller, review your products, change the product line, Everything is changeable for a startup. Nothing is changeable for a very seasoned businessman. I wish all of you review, restart. No normalcy will come back. You have to get to the new normalcy. Trust me, no one is nice and kind to you. Government is not going to be kind with you. Government exhausted all its funds. It will be very keen to charge petrol even 200 rupees per liter. Be prepared and then plan well and do the business. And be prepared for the worst. You will never be disappointed.
Sure. Alcohol is becoming cheaper than petrol these days.
Thank you for this.
Yeah.
By the way, all alcohol manufacturing companies are making sanitizers for your kind.
It's an interesting scenario being played out. Nasir, Somasundram?
Yeah, yes, sir. Nasir from BNI Coimbatore. We are always wanted to get your inspiration every time and now again. And most of the BNI members in Coimbatore, they always come up with this question of all these disrupted industry, like what you're talking about, travel agency, event companies, some of the trainers, consultants, and all of them. They always come back and ask this question: what do we do now? Should we just go out and look for some other new businesses, or what do you think we should do? So, what is your answer for this, sir?
You are talking about travel, and I see our good friend
Travel, events,
around. The red bus has been a revolution into travel. I think for the last 100 days, all business doing red bus are similar, are in red. So that is unfortunate part. He might highlight little about that. But having said that, you need to find out where what works, what are the demands. It's very difficult for a man who is in a healthcare industry to give complete picture about what different industries are. But as far as healthcare is concerned, I can very clearly talk. Even before this disruption, I used to tell there are three kinds of people in healthcare business. One who makes money, other who makes a lot of money, third one makes hell of money. So I am of that opinion that also will get doubled post-COVID. So I am very bullish about this industry, but the remaining industries will have to resurface, rework on normalcy. I don't see a possibility of buses going standing, though currently even under pandemic, without lack of control, some of the buses very sad to see overcrowded. So everything will be different, be it Coimbatore or Mumbai or Gorakhpur. Life is very, very different. We have to find out new normalcies, and I am pretty clear man will find a way to survive. Otherwise, how you think he would have lived for millions of years among so much of pandemics? Man will thrive. And I want all of you to believe the death will be only roughly around 40 per million, which means 99.95% of the people will be left. And in fact, I was telling to in some webinars, can virus destroy more, or a man can produce more children? So this human race is going to continue to be there, whether we are there or not. I am sure all of us will die. I will be very happy if I die at home. I will be all right if I die at a hospital, but I will be feeling very sad if I am dying at the gate of the hospital waiting for a bed for oxygen. Trust me, follow the norms. Advise all people in your organizations and your families to not to venture out till beds are becoming free in the city.
Sure, that's the modern day irony. One last question, if
go ahead.
Yeah, Somasundram, you've got something.
Vanakkam, Dr.A.velumani. I am so inspired with your life journey. I am from Thai Coimbatore. We met in the Jumpstart event at Coimbatore. Yes. My question is regarding healthcare. Big cities, all these days, they were playing a very important role. One of your talk, you mentioned Thai Mumbai speech. I was an attendee there. Small towns from now on will really, they'll come up with regard to healthcare. So we want to know something more about that, Doctor.
Yeah, change is change. Change always happens. Change gradually happens. When such a pandemic comes, change happens very fast. That is the power of a pandemic. All news channels were very powerful. Now, news editors have gone separately and starting their own digital or video or whatever channels. They are more in need because you see them making more bold statements than the government monitored, controlled, regular media houses. That's number one. Number two, the city had infrastructure and people migrated towards the city, and the city has got overcrowded. And today I read very clearly that a salary in UP is some 300, 400 rupees per day. In Bombay, he can get 1500 a day. This five-fold increase is something against the unwanted things. So now that migrant people have gone back to UP, Bihar, or the 5 states of Ganges, not only just the migrants which are working has gone, migrants who were even my laboratory MSc guys have gone, PhD guys have gone. So all of them have seen from close quarters how people make money using people. So there is a likelihood of the rural India, the India from where people travel to Delhi, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Cochin, and Chennai and South states will all be trying to put up some show. Some investors will put in money there. Some support will come from government. This is a positive thinking. So that the GDP growth, which was a little skewed towards the cities, will be getting clouded. When I tell clouded, it was all islands. And it will be all now cloud. So is Malayalis back from GCC, they will do some business which they have learned there. So will be, once the flight becomes normal from US and UK, some reverse brain drain will happen. And it is likely with the digital reaching to every nooks and corner, transportation logistics improving. Listen to me, those days it was all infrastructure, availability of a port, airport was one of the reasons why cities were prospering. Today it is IT, HR, logistics, only 3 things decide the prosperity of business. HR is there in villages better than more than in cities. Logistics today is seamless across the country. There are many companies have managed to deliver 200 rupees worth material within 24 hours in even smaller towns. And IT is cup of tea for almost everyone as long as broadband is available. So I am of that opinion, India will have a very powerful surge. I have been talking everywhere, and let me conclude my communication by telling this. I made some calculation in last 5 years based upon what has been reported in different media across the world. The Western world's GDP had shrunken. The Asian giants have a better GDP, almost double than that of the West. Based upon that, the calculation was by 2040, China will become #1 economy and India will become #1 economy in 2050, dislodging China. But I am sure this China virus, the kind of China attitude, the kind of China's approach towards the rest of the world with 59 apps blocked yesterday, it all looks like China will not be able to become #1 at all. And India will be becoming #1 in 2040. And another 20 years only, I am 60, very less likely I will see it. But all the guys who are like our anchor will be enjoying the position that India is the superpower. And I wish all of you a great day today, great learning today, and a great safe life in the next couple of quarters, and a prosperous future.